साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्।
हरि श्री गणपति ओम, हरि श्री गणपति ओम, हरि श्री गणपति ओम, हरि श्री गणपति ओम, हरि गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम, हरि गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम। विश्वाधारा विघ्न विनाशक, विश्वाधारा विघ्न विनाशक, विश्वाधारा विघ्न विनाशक, विश्वाधारा विघ्न विनाशक। वीर गणपति ओम, वीर गणपति ओम, वीर गणपति ओम, वीर गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम, वीर गणपति ओम ओम 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 ओम। हरि श्री गणपति ओम, हरि श्री गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम। विश्वाधारा विघ्न विनाशक, विश्वाधारा विघ्न विनाशक। वीर गणपति ओम, वीर गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम, वीर गणपति ओम ओम 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 ओम। हरि श्री गणपति ओम।
साईराम घनश्याम भगवान तुम्हारा नाम। साईराम घनश्याम भगवान तुम्हारा नाम। साईराम घनश्याम भगवान तुम्हारा बिन कोई नहीं रखवाले, तुम 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 बिन कोई नहीं आपत सहारे, 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 तुम बिन प्रेम कोई नहीं देने वाले, 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 तुम हो मेरे आत्मा राम बाबा, 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 भगवान तुम्हारा नाम, भगवान तुम्हारा नाम, साई राम तुम्हारा नाम, साई राम तुम्हारा नाम, साई राम घनश्याम भगवान तुम्हारा नाम, साई राम घनश्याम भगवान तुम्हारा नाम, तुम बिन कोई नहीं रखवाले, तुम बिन कोई नहीं रखवाले, तुम बिन कोई नहीं आपत सहारे, तुम बिन कोई नहीं आपत सहारे, तुम बिन प्रेम कोई नहीं देने वाले, तुम बिन प्रेम कोई नहीं देने वाले, तुम हो मेरे आत्मा राम बाबा, तुम हो मेरे आत्मा राम बाबा, भगवान तुम्हारा नाम, भगवान तुम्हारा नाम, साई राम तुम्हारा नाम, साई राम तुम्हारा नाम, साई राम घनश्याम भगवान तुम्हारा नाम। भगवान भगवान पतित पावन राम, 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 दया करो दया करो दया करो रक्षा करो भगवान, रक्षा करो भगवान। साई कृपा करो भगवान, साई कृपा करो भगवान। भगवान भगवान पतित पावन राम।
परतीश्वरा सत्य साईश्वरा,
परतीश्वरा सत्य साईश्वरा,
परतीश्वरा सत्य साईश्वरा,
परतीश्वरा सत्य साईश्वरा।
दया करो हरिनारायणा,
दया करो हरिनारायणा,
दया करो हरिनारायणा,
दया करो हरिनारायणा।
श्री साई नारायणा साई,
श्री साई नारायणा साई,
श्री साई नारायणा,
श्री साई नारायणा।
भवसागरोद्धार भुवनावना,
भवसागरोद्धार भुवनावना,
भवसागरोद्धार भुवनावना,
भवसागरोद्धार भुवनावना।
शरणागत त्राण नारायणा,
शरणागत प्राण नारायणा,
शरणागत त्राण नारायणा,
शरणागत प्राण नारायणा।
दया करो हरिनारायणा,
दया करो हरिनारायणा,
श्री साई नारायणा साई,
साई नारायणा साई,
श्री साई नारायणा,
श्री साई नारायणा।
परतीश्वरा सत्य साईश्वरा,
परतीश्वरा सत्य साईश्वरा,
दया करो हरिनारायणा,
करो हरिनारायणा,
श्री साई नारायणा साई,
साई नारायणा साई,
भवसागरोद्धार भुवनावना,
भवसागरोद्धार भुवनावना,
शरणागत त्राण नारायणा,
शरणागत प्राण नारायणा,
दया करो हरिनारायणा,
दया करो हरिनारायणा,
श्री साई नारायणा साई,
साई नारायणा साई,
श्री साई नारायणा,
श्री साई नारायणा।
परतीश्वरा साईश्वरा।
मन मंदिर में आओ साई,
मंदिर में आओ साई,
मन मंदिर में आओ साई,
मंदिर में आओ साई,
साई भगवान दर्श दिखाओ,
साई भगवान दर्श दिखाओ,
साई भगवान दर्श दिखाओ,
साई भगवान दर्श दिखाओ,
सदा निरंतर भज साई राम,
सदा निरंतर भज साई राम,
सदा निरंतर भज साई राम,
निरंतर भज साई राम,
गिरिधर नागर नटवर श्याम, गिरिधर नागर नटवर श्याम, साई भगवान दर्श दिखाओ,
साई भगवान दर्श दिखाओ,
साई भगवान दर्श दिखाओ,
साई भगवान दर्श दिखाओ,
मन मंदिर में आओ साई,
मंदिर में आओ साई,
साई भगवान दर्श दिखाओ,
साई भगवान दर्श दिखाओ,
सदा निरंतर भज साई राम,
सदा निरंतर भज साई राम,
गिरिधर नागर नटवर श्याम,
गिरिधर नागर नटवर श्याम,
साई भगवान दर्श दिखाओ,
साई भगवान दर्श दिखाओ,
साई भगवान दर्श दिखाओ,
साई भगवान दर्श दिखाओ,
मन मंदिर में आओ साई। शिरडी के साई परती के बाबा,
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 तुम हो हमारे प्यारे साई बाबा,
हो हमारे प्यारे साई बाबा,
तुम हो हमारे प्यारे साई बाबा, परती के बाबा।
शिरडी के साई परती के बाबा।
प्रेममया साई प्रेम प्रदाता।
प्रेममया साई प्रेम प्रदाता।
प्रेममया साई प्रेम प्रदाता।
प्रेममया साई प्रेम प्रदाता।
ईश्वराम्बनन्दन जगत् परिपाला।
ईश्वराम्बनन्दन जगत् परिपाला।
ईश्वराम्बनन्दन जगत् परिपाला।
ईश्वराम्बनन्दन जगत् परिपाला।
पाप विनाशक परम कृपाला।
पाप विनाशक परम कृपाला।
पाप विनाशक परम कृपाला।
पाप विनाशक परम कृपाला।
शिरडी के साई परती के बाबा।
शिरडी के साई परती के बाबा।
तुम हो हमारे प्यारे साई बाबा।
हमारे प्यारे साई बाबा।
शिरडी के साई परती के बाबा।
शिरडी के साई परती के बाबा।
प्रेममया साई प्रेम प्रदाता।
प्रेममया साई प्रेम प्रदाता।
ईश्वराम्बनन्दन जगत् परिपाला।
ईश्वराम्बनन्दन जगत् परिपाला।
पाप विनाशक परम कृपाला।
पाप विनाशक परम कृपाला।
पाप विनाशक परम कृपाला।
पाप विनाशक परम कृपाला।
शिरडी के साई परती के बाबा।
हे पर्तिपुरीशा प्रशान्तिवासा सद्गुरु साईराम।
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 सद्गुरु साईराम। पर्तिपुरीशा प्रशान्तिवासा सद्गुरु साईराम।
हे पर्तिपुरीशा प्रशान्तिवासा सद्गुरु साईराम।
सद्गुरु साईराम।
सद्गुरु साईराम।
सद्गुरु साईराम।
सद्गुरु साईराम।
हरे राम हरे राम हरे राम हरे राम।
हरे राम हरे राम हरे राम हरे राम।
हरे राम साईराम।
हरे राम साईराम।
हे अनाथ नाथा दीना बंधु सद्गुरु साईराम।
हे अनाथ नाथा दीना बंधु सद्गुरु साईराम।
सद्गुरु साईराम।
सद्गुरु साईराम।
सद्गुरु साईराम।
सद्गुरु साईराम।
हरे राम हरे राम हरे राम हरे राम।
हरे राम हरे राम हरे राम हरे राम।
हरे राम साईराम।
हरे राम साईराम।
हरे राम साईराम।
हरे राम साईराम।
हे पर्तिपुरीशा प्रशान्तिवासा सद्गुरु साईराम।
प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम। राम राम राम। राम राम राम। श्री राम राम राम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम। राम राम राम। राम राम राम। श्री राम राम राम। पाप कटे दुख मिटे लेत राम नाम। भव समुद्र सुखद नाव एक राम नाम। परम शांति सुख निदान दिय राम नाम। निराधार को आधार एक राम नाम। माता पिता बंधु सखा सब ही राम नाम। भक्त जनर जीवन जन एक राम नाम। भक्त जनर जीवन जन एक राम नाम। राम राम राम। राम राम राम। राम राम राम। श्री राम राम राम। राम राम राम। राम राम राम।
Sairam, and a warm welcome to you, sir, to the studios of Sri Sathya Sai Media Center. Today, we want to know from you your connect with Swami, how it all began.
My memory goes back to when I was about 10 years old or so. Dr. Padmanabhan and my father, late father Sundaraswamy, were very close friends, and they were acquaintances even earlier. And that's how one of the neighbors of Dr. Padmanabhan was the Adalam family house, Gangadhar Shetty Garu, who held many positions and a great devotee of Swami. Even Gangadhar Shetty's father was also a devotee of Swami. And they happened to be the clients of my grandfather, Ganesh Rao, who was also a lawyer. So it dates back to sometime in the 40s. So from then we knew the family. But sometime in the early 60s is when my memory goes back. Before that, I don't recall, but probably father had had Swami's darshan even before that. But in the early 60s, there was a lot of discussion. Many times Baba's name was mentioned. And whenever we went to Gangadhar Shetty's house, there's a big photograph of Swami there. And so the topic would veer around to Swami. And my memory goes back to a day when suddenly one evening, I was told that father is going to Gangadhar Shetty's house, close to that somewhere, and Baba is in Bangalore and we have darshan there. So my recollection is that there was quite a big gathering there, and it was a kind of an old shamiana that had been erected there. And we went there, and Swami was very graciously there. He spoke a little bit in Kannada and a little bit in Telugu. And then he blessed a lot of people who were there. And then Mr. Dr. Padmanabhan called father aside and introduced him to Bhagwan. Maybe they had even had darshan earlier, but that recollection I have. And after that, they performed Aarti for Swami. And then they gave us all some prasadam and we left. That was my first darshan of Swami. And I was probably 10 years old. But then our family is, what shall I say, steeply into spirituality, religion. We are all, great believers in God. And I was blessed to be born in a family like this. My grandfather was very closely connected to the Ramakrishna mission. And many realized Swamijis who were stationed in Bangalore and elsewhere were very close to my grandfather. I recall stories of Swami Tyageshwarananji, a very renowned monk, who had to undergo surgery, and my grandfather took him to the KGF General Hospital, which is about 50 miles away from Bangalore. And a lot of things about how the Swamiji underwent a surgery without anesthesia. And the doctor said, "We would like to operate. Can we give you anesthesia?" I said, "I'm ready. Give me a few minutes." And then he shut off and the surgery was performed. Wow. And, this is a kind of atmosphere in which we grew up. And many great saints were connected to our family in many ways. Swami Brahmananda, who was one of the immediate disciples of Swami Vivekananda, his immediate disciple, Swami Yatishwarananji, is a famous writer. He set up a center in Switzerland for the first time. There are books that these great saints have presented to my father and grandfather, which I still possess as their treasured gifts. Now, this is the milieu in which the family grew up. My grandfather is a great believer. He's a great achiever. He's a good lawyer, very successful man in society, founder of engineering college, medical college, and he was a scout commissioner, and he was a Freemason, master of the lodge, a number of achievements to his credit. But he was a great believer in God. And there's a family temple. Our family deity is a form of Krishna, is called Channakeshava. And there is a temple of Channakeshava in a place called Mudigere, which is very close to a small town called, very close to Chikbalapur. And the name of the town is Gauri Bidnur. So there's a family, there's a deity. And that dates back to about over 1,000 years old, the temple is. So our family was living there. And because of drought and plague and other things, the family moved nearer to Bangalore, a village called Sondekopa, which is only about 35 kilometers from Bangalore now. It's really part of Bangalore. So they lived there. And when they came there, they realized that there was another old temple And it was all dilapidated, and nobody knew which deity was actually presiding over there. It was completely destroyed at that time. And so grandfather started wondering, why is this temple here? I should, think of something. Just outside the temple, there is a village. There was an old Prasanna Mahaganapati temple, which is dating about 350 years old or so. So a tiny, small temple, but a very big, huge temple, Kalyani, is there. It's a really big temple, Kalyani. The temple itself is very small. So grandfather started thinking that, I think it's time that, I rebuilt the temple, which was on the outskirts of the village. And so he said, we'll do a renovation. Actually, it was not renovation, it was a new building. But he nevertheless went and excavated some stones and some friezes and some pillars and all that, which is temple paraphernalia from there, and brought it and started constructing the temple in 1954. And he did it on his own. And at that time, he had started developing a kind of a detachment to family life, because he was at that time the peak of his career. He was born in 1902, so he's 52, 53 years old. And that's the time when a lawyer really reaches his peak of his career, if he's a good lawyer. He said, enough of the profession. I think I'm going to devote myself to spiritual pursuits. And therefore, this temple was built. And he made a selection of many of the important things which I speak about, the Upanishads, the Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, and some of the famous compositions of Kannada poets, had them inscribed on stone in the temple. And that became the fulcrum of our lives. Because just after the temple was built, grandfather fell ill, and it fell to the lot of my father, as the eldest of his 5 children, to look after the temple. And father was also not, very old at the time. He was hardly in his late 30s. And therefore, he started. And father was also very spiritually inclined and a great believer of God, and connected with, again, Ramakrishna Mission, the famous Jagat Gurus of Sringeri. At least 4 generations of Sringeri Swamijis have visited our house. And even today, if we ever go there for darshan, they give us a lot of respect, bless us, and we are indeed a blessed family. So this is the milieu in which we grew up. And so when this happened, and in our family we've always had Nitya Puja, so there is not a day when, the day goes by without somebody in the house doesn't perform puja for our Ishtadevata at home. And it's a Shodashopchar Puja, which is followed in the Sringeri Paddhati that we do. So this is a scenario in which we grew up. So when it came to Bhagwan Baba, as I said, our family made no distinction between a saint, a divine being, anything connected with God. We would naturally get attracted, like how ants get attracted to sugar, you see. Even in our younger days, whenever we went for a trip anywhere, it was just a visit to some place, invariably, the visit would never end till we visited the temple in that place, till we visited a holy place, till we went to that place and, met some saint who is living there, or some Swamiji who may be residing there. These are things, which sort of naturally went. So my children, whenever they were young and we went on a trip, they would always say, Papa, when we go to this place, we have to, quota of temples we haven't finished this time. So that used to be, it got ingrained into them. So that was how it was in grandfather and father's time. And so the darshan of Bhagwan made a lot of difference to us. And for some reason, I don't know if it is Swami's grace or Purva Janma Sukruta, whatever it is, Bhagwan had great deal of affection for my father. He had great respect for him. And he never missed a chance to make my father very comfortable. I remember, those days, the old Trai Vrindavan, the new Trai Vrindavan was not there. It was the old bungalow which was there in Vrindavan. So whenever Bhagwan was in Bangalore for darshan, in the Indian Bangalore newspapers, you would have a In the City Today column. It was a small column which used to publish many events that happen. So there it will be written, Bhagwan Baba Darshan in Vrindavan. So when that father used to see that newspaper, or sometimes Gangar Shetty Garu used to inform him that Baba has come, he's going to be here for a few days. My father was a very busy practitioner of law, is a senior advocate, a former advocate general, and a man of diverse interests in life, and a very pious, simple, humble, spiritual person. He had no showiness about him. He was absolutely down to earth. So whenever he got this information, at breakfast, he used to just casually mention to my wife and to me, Baba is in Bangalore. I'm planning to go for darshan. So my wife would, immediately say, I'm coming. So then I would have left for the office. So at the office, he will tell me that, I'm going in the afternoon for darshan to Whitefield. Your wife said she's coming. That's it, and pause. He wouldn't say, do you want to come? Are you coming? So I would say, yes, certainly I would also come if, my work permitted it. And then he would tell my wife, I'll send my driver. You hop onto the car and then you come to office and we'll go from there. And that's how these trips went on. And every time we went with my father, we would go there and I don't know, you might remember there was an old Krishna idol there. There's a big tree there and there's a kind of a
Sairam
makeshift Sairam shed was there. Nothing else was there. And so we would go and be there and father would go to the gate and Sevadal would recognize him and, allow him inside, because by that time my father was a member of the state Sathya Sai Trust. It was a council of management. He was a member of that. So he would go inside and we had to wait outside, and he would have to go inside and mention to Bhagwan that my son and daughter-in-law are here, Baba. And Swami would immediately say, where are they? Please bring them in. And then we would be ushered into the old bungalow. And things were very different then, this kind of a mad crowd was not there. It was very well regulated. Only few people would be there inside. And Swami would then come out for darshan. But on days when I didn't go with my father and I happened to go on my own, some days we are in college and suddenly we'll hear about this. So I'll just hop onto my scooter and drive to Whitefield, because my college was in St. Joseph's College in Brigade Road. And from there, Whitefield was, just a drive away. So many days we would just hop on the bike and go there, park the scooter and wait for Swami's darshan. And those days, I didn't have the privilege of having his personal darshan or anything. So I would go and sit down in the hall, in the shed, and have Swami's darshan. And of course, he would give a knowing smile and a nod, and that's how it was. So those were the days in which, we were blessed to have Swami's very close interactions. Then came years later. Swami decided, my father invited him and Swami decided to come to our house. That was in November of 1976. And our house was in Sadashiv Nagar in Bangalore, in the north of Bangalore. I remember very clearly and distinctly how the day went. Swami came home in the evening and spent an hour there. And it's a two-storied house. All the guests were in the ground floor. The dining, everything was arranged in the upper floor, the first floor. And Swami had his own table and a chair, and all the other guests were seated on the floor. And we had, many dignitaries there, including Justice Venkatachalaya, who later became Chancellor of the Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. He was then a judge in the High Court. And Justice Jagannath Shetty, who later became judge in the Supreme Court. Like that, many leading people were there in society. And Swami spent a whole evening and had dinner, and then he left. Now, why I'm mentioning this in some detail is after that, the number of visits that we had to Swami and the kind of interactions we had sort of, doubled and trebled. I was then in my second year degree, BCom. Next year, I finished my degree. And the same year, 1977, we came to Puttaparthi for Swami's birthday. And it was a whole family had come. I think we were about 10 or 15 of us. And as soon as the Swami saw us, he blessed us. And Swami was then in the Purnachandra Hall. And he immediately called all of us there. And we went inside and we sat with Swami. He spent some time. And this was in the year 1978, because I just graduated and had started my chartered accountancy course. And I had just taken my intermediate CA examination. That usually examinations happens in the first week of November. And this was Swami's birthday, which was, 23rd. So Swami called, he looked at me and he looked at everybody, gave everybody gifts. And then he said, what are you doing? So I said, Swami, I'm studying to become a chartered accountant. I'm also taking up my law degree simultaneously. He stared at me and said, "You're a Vidyarthi. Don't become Vishyarthi."
Oh.
So it was a very direct message, like how we heard Swami's message this morning. What a powerful direct message it was.
Yes.
Just like that, he told me. And imagine 21-year-old or 20-year-old person hearing this message from Swami. How should it work in my mind? I went back, and then I started thinking, what is it that Swami meant for me? And then I realized that I was doing 3 professional courses simultaneously. I was doing my chartered accountancy, I was doing my law, and I was doing my company secretaryship. So I realized that the message was loud and clear that I must not do anything else other than study. Vidyarthi.
Yes.
So I slowly cut off all my friendships with all my friends. And doing these 3 professional courses is a real tough order. And I would be, reading away the whole night. All my friends who were living in our area were my friends who would be going around to see a movie in the night show and come back at 12:30 and see my lights on, come and, shout at me from the door, downstairs gate, say, "Hey, what are you doing? Come on, come down, chat with us for a few minutes." So I would close my books, come down 5-10 minutes, chat with them, go back to my studies. Said, "Did you enjoy the movie?" I said, yes, we missed you. I said, "No, I had better things to do." So that's how life became. I sort of got completely engrossed in work and studies, and probably thanks to Bhagwan's blessing, that before I was 23, I had got 3 professional degrees in my pocket. And not only that,
And you were gold medalist.
Yeah, see, that's in the LLB degree. I became a gold medalist because I got the first ranking for all the 3 years that results were declared, which was actually a kind of a additional course that I was doing. I was doing the main course, something else. Anyway, so it went on like that. And after that, by that time, what had happened was, I had happened to meet my wife, Madhuri, on a visit that I had made to Mahabaleshwar. It was very strange again. Strange why I say is, because I had never been to Shirdi. And my wife's family, they were great devotees of Shirdi Baba. And she recalls that as a young girl, whenever they went to Shirdi, the big paraphernalia, everything was not there. There was only the Samadhi Mandir there. And ladies and young women were allowed to sleep inside the main mandir in the upper floor because there was no other accommodation. Men would sleep outside, and there was, they would allow the ladies to sleep. So this was sometime in the late 60s and early 70s. So it was very, very clearly something that she developed there. And she started reading the Sai Satcharit. She's Maharashtrian, so she's Marathi is a mother tongue. So she started reading Satcharit. And very often she says, I was asked to do all the diya and the lighting in the Dwarka Mai. Nobody, she was there and they said, "You do this." Just like, coming back in time now, in recent times, whenever we come for darshan, this is after Swami's Mahasamadhi, and we walk in through the mandir, somebody started telling her, "You have to do the rangoli in front of Swami's throne inside the mandir." I mean, she never asked for it. And ever since then, every time we come, she goes there first, she does the flower rangoli, then she goes into sitting. Now, this, what shall we say, this attachment or this devotion to Shirdi Baba, and she had never ever had darshan of Sathya Sai Baba. So, it was very strange feeling that on that year, a few of us, 4 of our friends, we decided to go on a trip. One of my uncles used to live in Pune. He's our favorite uncle. He's a great friend like for us. He used to play all the pranks with us and everything. So we went to visit him. And after going there, we said, one of the gentlemen, one of my friends who came with me is Gujarati, their family who believed in Shirdi Baba. So he told us, "We have come all the way to Pune. Why not we go to Shirdi?" I mean, it was completely unplanned. So we said, "Okay, we'll go to Shirdi." And then we just hopped onto a bus and we went to Shirdi. Those days, there's, nothing there. This I'm talking is sometime in the 76, 77. So there was a big dormitory and they would give a small locker. So you could sort of sleep in the dormitory, put your things in the locker. And there was a community toilet, and there was practically an open air bath. And if you wanted to have a hot water, it would cost you 5 paise. Hot water bucket would be given to you. You could take it there, have bath. And there was, I still remember one Tamilian gentleman used to run one Madras cafe there. That's the only place where he got coffee and idli. Otherwise, nothing else was available there. Gujarati khana was available. So that was the time how it was. So we went to Shirdi. And the darshan was very easy. There was no long line, nothing. So we sort of sat down there and had darshan 2-3 times peacefully. And then we decided, now where do we go? And everybody said, we'll go to Mahabaleshwar. Now, Mahabaleshwar is also not on our agenda. But, in that youthful exuberance, chalo, we'll go to Mahabaleshwar. Where do you stay in Mahabaleshwar? No, who bothered about it? No. Got onto a bus, went to Mahabaleshwar. Got down in the bus station there. And there are these touts who come to you, say, sir, acha room hai, we'll get you a room, come here, this room, that room, like that. So we bargained with him. How much is the room? This is 5 rupees, sir, one night. So I said, okay. So we went along with him. And he took us to a hotel. I think it was called Aram Hotel also. And then we went in, checked in, 3-4 youngsters, all of us. And then we went sightseeing and all. We came back in the evening, we found some family there. So we started talking to them. And then we realized that the person who was there is a person whom I'm now married to for 45 years. And she had happened to come there because that building belonged to her sister's husband, her brother-in-law. She had lost her parents. So she was practically, brought up by her elder sister and brother-in-law. So her brother-in-law owned this building, and they were coming not very frequently. So they let out a portion of it for running a hotel. And they were retained the remaining portion, so they were living there. And so we sort of happened to, bump into her there. And then she was there with her niece and nephew. And so she used to have a Coke and this, that, everything. So a few days we just talked to each other. And the day that we met was a Thursday. And we decided, in the evening there was a hotel called Dreamland, which is famous for a good thali. And so we went to Dreamland Hotel for a thali. And the only place in Mahabaleshwar which had a television, a black and white television, was in Dreamland. So the attraction was, after Khana, you can watch some television for a little while. And there used to be some program with film songs and all that we could watch and come back. So that's how I met her. And the friendship sort of developed. I went to Bombay. I used to go for audit to Bombay, and that's when our friendship continued. And slowly, we felt that maybe we are made for each other. And of course, ours is a very conservative South Indian Brahmin family. And she is from Bombay, the place of Bollywood. I mean, you can imagine what all thoughts would come through our minds of our parents, my mother's then not alive, my father and others. And as I told you, our family of, conservative life, temple, and, so many rituals at home, and all the great festivals that we celebrate, everything.
ॐ जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक रक्षक पति महेश्वरा ॐ जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपदान्धवा ॐ जय जगदीश हरे मातपिता गुरुदैवमु मरि अन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मरि अन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नागेन्द्रशयन ॐ जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल आरती अंधुको मंगल आरती अंधुको मंदर गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।
Om. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 151 152 153 154 155 156 157 158